Welcome you all. Now we will discuss on SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, Share-Based Employee Benefit and Sweat Equity Regulation 2021. I'll give you the overall idea of the regulations. Today we will focus on Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the most crucial because it gives the basic idea, key definitions, and you will be familiar with the technical words. So there are many technical words used in these regulations. SEBI Share-Based Employee Benefit Regulations, Chapter 1 talks about key definitions and scope. Total 6 chapters are there. Yes, I'll give you overall idea. Chapter 1 talks about the preliminary. So that is the chapter outlines the short title, commencement, application, definitions pertinent to the regulations. And Chapter 2 talks about the schemes, implementation and process of the schemes. So it details the implementation scheme through trust. So trust company can directly implement or through trust. So and what is the eligibility criteria and what is the role of compensation committee and requirements for shareholders approval, procedure for variation and winding up of schemes, how the schemes will be winding up. If there is any variation, what is the procedure and non-transferability clauses, listing requirements, and what are the compliance obligations, and what are the auditor certifications, disclosure norms, and accounting policies will be discussed in the chapter 2. So chapter 2 talks about the schemes implementation and process. I just told you about compensation committee. This is a technical word. So these things will be in detail given the definition in chapter 1 we will discuss now. And then chapter 3 talks about the administration of specific schemes, because there are total, see, ESOPs, employee stock option scheme, how the administration talks about in part A. Part B talks about the employee stock purchase scheme. Part C talks about the SAR scheme. Part 4 talks about the GBS. Part 5 talks about, Part E talks about the RBS. So here in this chapter 3 talks about the administration of specific schemes. So this chapter is divided into total 5 parts, each focusing on specific type of scheme. Part A, employee stock option scheme, addresses administration and implementation, pricing, vesting, rights of option holders, and consequences of failing failing to exercise options. This all will be discussed in part A of chapter 3, that is employee stock option scheme, and part B talk about employee stock purchase scheme. Part C talks about stock appreciation rights. Part D talks about general employee benefit scheme. Part E talks about retirement benefit scheme. These are all covered in part 3, chapter 3. Chapter 4 talks about the issue of sweat equity by listed companies. So this chapter again divided into 2 parts. Anyway, now we are not talking about sweat equity shares. So chapter 4 talks about the sweat equity. Then chapter 5, power to relax strict enforcement of regulations. So there are certain relaxations, exemptions from enforcement of the regulations in special and other cases. These are all given the details in chapter 5. Chapter 6 talks about the miscellaneous. Just I am giving the overall idea of the SEBI share-based employee benefit and sweat equity regulations. Total 6 chapters. Now, in this video today, we are focusing on chapter 1. This is very, very important chapter to understand. Once you understand this chapter 1, the basic definitions, key definitions, and scope of the schemes and technical which are used in these regulations, then you will be able to understand other chapters very easily. Now I will take you to the website of the website. I will take you to the website. Now I will stop sharing. Then we will go to SEBI website. This is a Google. Here you have to type SEBI.gov.in. Then this is Securities Exchange Board of India SEBI website. Here you can see, no, Securities Exchange Board of India. We are going to regulations. Click the regulation. Then if you come down, you can see Securities Exchange Board of India Share-Based Employee Benefit and Security Regulations 2021. This is what we are discussing now. This is official website of SEBI. The total 44 pages are there in these regulations. And now, chapter 1. And now I will take you to Gazette of India published by the authority. This dated 13th August 2021. Share-based employees. Securities Exchange Board of India Share-based Employee Benefit and Sweat Equity Regulations 2021 dated 13 August 2021. This is chapter 1. This is preliminary. Short title, commencement and application. So this is the title. Share-based Employee Benefit and Sweat Equity Regulations 2021. And this is effective from 13th August 2021. And these provisions of these regulations shall apply to the following schemes, total 6 schemes. One is employee stock option scheme, second one is employee stock purchase scheme, third one is stock appreciation right scheme, fourth one is general employee benefit scheme, and fifth one is retirement benefit scheme and sweat equity scheme. So these are all 6 schemes covered under these regulations. Employee stock option scheme, ESOS. Employee stock purchase scheme, ESPS. Stock appreciation right, SARS. General employee benefit scheme, GEBS. Retirement benefit scheme, RBS. And state equity shares. See, these provisions of these regulations shall apply to any company whose equity shares are listed on recognized stock exchange in India, who seeks to issue sweat equity shares or has a scheme. See, all listed companies, SEBI is applicable. These SEBI provisions are applicable to listed companies. Even proposed to be listed companies also, these provisions applicable for direct and indirect benefit of the employees, and the scheme involving dealing in or subscribing or purchasing securities of the company directly or indirectly, and satisfying directly or indirectly any of the following conditions. See, condition number 1, this scheme is set up by the company or any other company, its groups, because we will be talking about the group companies, holding companies, subsidiary companies. So the scheme is funded or guaranteed by the company or any other company. Why we are talking about funded or guarantee? Because for implementation of the scheme, money is required, either directly or through trust route we can implement. So for these funds are required, company will directly give to the give to trust, or trust can avail the loan, and then company will give guarantee. That is what here is discussed. And the scheme is controlled or managed by the company or any other company in its groups. So these schemes, these benefits are applicable to employees of the company or holding company, subsidiary company, group companies. That is why here all these companies discussed. So the provisions pertaining to preferential issue as specified in the SEBI ICDR regulations not applicable here. So when you are implementing these schemes, no need of again following the provisions of preferential issue, because here we are giving a new shares. Even though we are giving a new shares, so no need to follow the preferential issue, because we are following SEBI share-based employee benefit and sweat equity regulations. That itself is sufficient. That is what is discussed here. Now we will come to the crucial part of definitions. You will be familiar with all the technical words so that it is easy to understand other chapters. So Act means, here in these regulations, Act means SEBI Act. Securities Exchange Board of India Act 1992. What is appreciation? So many places we talk about appreciation. Appreciation means difference between the market price of the shares of the company on the date of exercise. Here the technical words we will be coming to know. First, grant option will be there. Grant will be given to the employees. Then next step is vesting period. Then final is exercise. So at the time of grant only, the price will be determined. At what price you are going to purchase will be determined. That is a predetermined price at the time of grant. And finally, exercise. Suppose the price, share price, you are giving offer at rupees of 10. So you will be exercised at 10 rupee at a future date. Now today only predetermined, but at the time of exercise, the price may be 100 rupee. So 100 minus 10. At the time of exercise, market price is 100. So, but you have an option at the rate of 10. So the difference between 100 minus 10 is equal to 90. That is called appreciation. And associate company is as per the definition under section 2, subsection 6 of Companies Act 2013. Same meaning as defined under Companies Act. Board means Security Exchange Board of India. Company, the same meaning as defined under Companies Act. Control have the same meaning as defined under SEBI Substantial Acquisition of Shares and Takeover, SAST Regulations 2011. So director shall have the same meaning as defined under Companies Act 2013. These are all the definitions. So again, we are not giving the total definition because it will follow as per the definition under Companies Act. And emergency means, why this emergency word is the funds are required in a situation where a trust need funds to implement the schemes. Employee, this is a crucial. Who is an employee? Because employees only will get the benefits. No, who is an employee? Whether even promoters also employee? No. Whether member of the promoter group is employee? No. Whether independent directors are employee? No. So these are all will not cover under employee. So they won't get any benefits under these schemes. Why? Because if you see promoter no need to give any motivation. Already they are motivated. This is for motivation of the employees. This is ESOPs you are giving for motivate the employees, retain the employees. So anyway, already they are motivated and they are already they will be with the company promoters. So they are not eligible. Employee except in relation to issue of sweaty shares, sweaty equity shares. The employee definition is different under sweaty equity shares. Now we are talking about employee stock options, employee stock purchase schemes, SARs. So here, an employee as defined by the company who exclusively working in India and outside India, whether you are working in India or outside in India, you are employee, you are eligible for employee stock option schemes. And a director of the company, whether he's a whole-time director or not, whether he's executive director or not, so you can take, but the promoter group and member of the promoter group are not eligible. If the director belongs to promoter, not eligible for ESOPs. If a member of promoter group, no, not eligible for employee stock option scheme. If it is independent director, not eligible for employee stock options. So independent directors are not eligible, promoter director not eligible, member of promoter group not eligible. An employee as defined in subclass 1 and 2 as discussed above of a group company. So when we are talking about the employee, these schemes are applicable to group company, subsidiary company, associate company, whether the employee is in India or outside India, working in India or outside India, but not eligible promoter and promoter group directors and independent directors. And another thing is, suppose if a director, either himself or through his relatives or through any body corporate, directly or indirectly holding more than 10% of shares in this company, not eligible. If already more than 10% of shares the director holds either directly or indirectly, then because he is holding 10% of shares in this company, so motivation again is not required, already motivated and invested. So for them also employee stock options not eligible. So employee stock option schemes, that is ESOS. What exactly it means? Under which a company grants employee stock options to the employees, either directly or through trust route. So there are two routes. Directly company can give or through trust route can implement. Company only will float a trust and can give the employee stock. That is what employee stock options scheme. What is purchase scheme? ESPS. There is a little difference. Employee stock purchase scheme means a scheme under which a company offers shares to employees. There also employees, here also employees, but here employee stock purchase scheme here, it offers through public issue. Suppose then public issue is going on, some certain portion will be given to the employees. That is ESOPs, ESPS. Either directly, otherwise or through trust route where already listed company. So trust may undertake secondary acquisition for the purpose of this scheme. So secondary acquisition through market. Trust will purchase and implement ESOPs, employee stock purchase scheme. That is why the word used to purchase scheme. What is exercise? Exercise means, I just told you the three stages. One is first grant stage, second is vesting stage, final is exercise stage. At the exercise stage, he is eligible and he make an application to the company that yes, I am willing to exercise. So I will read out for you your benefit the definition. Exercise means making an application by an employee either to company or to the trust for issue of shares or appreciation in form of cash, as the case may be, against vested options or vested SARs in pursuance of the scheme covered under Part A or Part C of the chapter. Why Part A and Part A? Part A talks about the employee stock option schemes. Part C talks about the stock appreciation rights, SARs. So these are all discussed in these schemes are covered in chapter 3 of these regulations. Now we are at chapter 1, definitions we are talking. That is what the meaning of the exercise. Exercise means an employee making an application to the company or to the trust. I am willing to exercise my shares. After vesting, he will get a right of exercise. This is not an obligation. This is an option. That is why we use the word option. So you are not forcing or this is not an obligation to purchase. Grants we are giving. If you want to purchase, you can purchase. You want to leave it, you can leave it. This is only an option given. This is a benefit option given. You may get doubt why employees will leave it. They won't execute. No, see, if share market, if you see, there is no guarantee that share will increase. Suppose the share will fell down, the share price has come down. Then this is a choice of the employee. This is an option of the employee whether to take or not to take. Obviously, when the price is less at the time of execution, then your grant price is, suppose a grant price is 50 rupees. In the market, open market, you are getting at 45 rupees. Why you implement this? No, why you execute this? Why you exercise this? So this is what. But majority cases price will be increased, but this is an option. What is exercise period? See, after vesting, there is a certain period for exercise. That period is exercise period. This is the time period after vesting within which an employee can exercise. So that is called exercise period. What is exercise price? This is price predetermined at the time of giving option only. Company will say this is your exercise price. What is general employee benefit scheme, GEBS? This is employee benefits are provided here in accordance with these regulations. It's for the company, it's a holding company. This is for the purpose of employee welfare, including welfare benefits, like health benefits, hospital benefits, benefits in the event of sickness, benefits in the event of accident, disability, or death, or scholarship funds, such other benefits as specified by such company. So these are all called general employee benefits. Then the scheme floated for general employee benefit scheme. This is called GEBS. What is grant? Grant means the process by which the company issues options. I told you, company will give grant, SARs, or shares, or any other benefits under any of the schemes. That is called grant. This is the process by which the company issues options. Grant date. The date, there is a specific date, means the date on which the compensation committee approves the grant. This is the technical word again, compensation committee. Next definition is there. What is compensation committee? So compensation committee only approves. Then that approval date is a grant date. For accounting purposes, the grant date will be determined in accordance with the applicable accounting standards. So here we are talking about group companies. What is the group? Group means two or more companies which directly or indirectly are in position to exercise. See, if this company is able to exercise 26% of voting rights in other company, there is a group company, and or appoint more than 50% of the members of the board in other company, it is called a group company. Then control the management of affairs of the company, group company. Another definition, ICAI word is used. That is why ICAI means Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Just the definition part we are discussing. Insiders we discuss in PIT regulations. Definition as per the PIT regulation, provision of insider trading regulation 2015. Independent director definition, as per the Companies Act. Here we are talking about as per SEBI LODR regulations 2015. Same meaning, independent director. What is IPO? IPO is initial public offer. Same meaning assigned to it under SEBI IGDR regulations. We talk about IPO, the same meaning we'll take it here. Key managerial person, KMP. We talk about much on KMP in Companies Act 2013. Same definition is taken in KMP. What is the market price? That is the latest available closing price, market price. Closing price on recognized stock exchange. You can get it from stock exchange, on which shares of the company are listed. Because there are NSE is available, BSE is available. So on the date immediately prior to the relevant date. This is how you find out the market price. So explanation, if such shares are listed in, suppose if it is listed more than one stock exchange, then which market price we will take? How to finalize a market price? then obviously how we will take is, if it is more than one stock exchange, then closing price on the recognized stock exchange have higher trading volume. When the closing price higher on which higher trading value shall be considered as a market price. BSE, NSE both are there. Then we will compare both. On which stock exchange the higher trading value is there, then that closing price will consider. Then what is merchant banker? Merchant bankers are intermediaries. In IPOs, we talk about merchant bankers, as per SEBI merchant banker regulation. And what is the option? Option means it is given to an employee, which gives an employee right to purchase. That is what option. Or right to subscribe. This is at future date he will take, not now. We will give now and he will exercise at future date. Either directly or indirectly at predetermined price. Price will be determined now only, but you are exercising at later date. Option grantee. Who is grantee? Employee is a grantee. Pre-IPO scheme. If the scheme is floating before IPO, just before going IPO, companies will float the schemes. That is what pre-IPO scheme. What is promoter and promoter group? These are all definitions as per the SEBI ICDR regulations. Because we are talking about SEBI regulations, so same definitions we will take. What is recognized stock exchange? We know stock exchange. What is recognized stock exchange? This is stock exchange, which has given grant, which has been granted recognition under Section 4 of SEBI. That is Section 4 of Securities Contract Regulation Act. So that is what called a recognized stock exchange. Means a stock exchange which has given a grant or which has been granted recognition. So which stock exchange has given that recognition? So that stock exchange is a recognized stock exchange. That would be either NSE or BSE, obviously. Registrar. See, generally in IPOs we talk about registrars. Registrar to issue. So that definition will take SEBI registrar to an issue and share transfer agents. So RTA, we generally say RTA, that is registrar. Relatives, we talk about Companies Act, under Companies Act. Same definition we will follow. Relevant date. See, what is relevant date? In this case, grant. The date of the meeting of compensation committee, which grant is made. So on which date the grant is made by the compensation committee, that is a relevant date. Or otherwise, in exercise, the relevant date is, see, when the employee gives the letter to the company or trust, yes, I am willing to exercise, that date is considered as a relevant date for exercise. You are clear, no? So retirement benefit scheme, RBS. This scheme of the company, so there is no need of confusion. Because very clear, employee stock option scheme, employee stock purchase scheme, retirement benefit scheme, general employee benefit scheme, and sweat equity scheme. So be clear. Now the definition of RBS. What is RBS? See, scheme of the company framed in accordance with these regulations only, but dealing in shares of the company or the shares of its holding company or that company for providing retirement benefits. So you are giving a benefits to the employees at the time of retirement. That is called retirement benefit, subject to compliance with these existing rules and regulations. So here also SAR grantee. Grantee is an employee only. SAR price, say stock appreciation rights. The price is a basic price defined on the grant date. All the prices are given at the time of grant only. Predetermined price only. Scheme means all schemes which are defined. So we'll discuss share-based employee benefit its employees under Chapter 3 of these regulations. So elaborately, these schemes will discuss under Chapter 3, which may be implemented and administered directly by the company or through trust. Securities means securities as defined under Section 2H of Securities Contract Regulation Act. Then secondary acquisition means, this is the definition, acquisition of existing shares. If it's a listed company, then existing shares you will acquire, trust will acquire. So this is called secondary acquisition. Secretarial auditor. Company secretaries are secretarial auditor appointed by a company under Rule 8 of Companies Meetings and Board and its powers rules 2014. What they will do, they conduct a secretarial audit pursuant to Regulation 24A of SEBI LODR. Share means equity shares and securities convertible into equity shares and includes ADR, GDRs, American depository receipts, global depository receipts, and other depository receipts representing underlying equity shares. Finally, ultimate underlying equity shares or securities convertible into equity shares. This is what the definition of shares. Stock appreciation right, SAR. Similarly, a right given to SAR grantee, given to the employee, entitling him to receive this appreciation at a future date at a specified number of shares of the company where the settlement of such appreciation may be made by way of cash payment or shares of the company. In SARs, you can see if SARs are settled by way of shares, that is called equity settled SAR. If through cash, then for the purpose of these regulations, any reference to stock appreciation right or SAR shall mean equity settled, that is equity settled SARs, and does not include any scheme which does not directly or indirectly involve dealing in or subscribing to or purchasing securities of the company. Then stock appreciation rights means a scheme under which a company grants SAR to its employees. Suppose if it is by way of cash settlement, yes, there may be a cash settlement, cash payment of shares of the company or equity settle. Then equity shares, yes, sweat equity shares as defined under Section 2 of Companies Act 2013. Then schedule means schedule annexed to these regulations. Trust means, yes, we will incorporate a trust as per the Indian Trust Act 1882. Company only will float a trust. Trustee means who is taking care of the welfare of the beneficiaries. Valuer means who value. You will do the valuation. So here independent chartered accountant or merchant banker appointed to determine the valuation of know-how or intellectual property rights or value addition. So this is what the definition of the valuer. Vesting means a process by which the employee becomes entitled to receive the benefit. So first you are giving a grant, that is not a vesting. So minimum vesting period 1 year is required under the law. After that is the company choice. It can be enhanced also. So the day when it means the process by which the employee becomes entitled to receive the benefit, then that is called the vesting. Benefit of grant made under any of the scheme. What is the vesting period? That period, no? The period during which the vesting option, whether it is option or SAR or any benefit granted under any of the schemes takes place. Today you are giving an option. Then the vesting period after 1 year, some other date will be given. That gap is a vesting period. So here, if any words or expressions which is not defined in these, then we will go as per the either Securities Contract Regulation Act or whether Companies Act or any statutory modification or reenactment thereto shall have the same meaning. This is what about the chapter 1. Chapter 1 is a crucial. Hope I think you are very clear, because once you are very clear on these definitions and technical terms, then only you will be able to understand chapter 2 and chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5 and chapter 6. Total 6 chapters are there. So in this video, I covered only chapter 1, the basic, fundamental, very important, very important and crucial to understand the entire schemes. So thank you very much, and hope you are clear. And next video we'll do chapter 2. Thank you.